Dear Christian University students, don't lose God when you're on campus. I know it's hard, but here are some guides to help you. I'd say staying committed to a consistent and focused time with God is crucial. This can be your devotion or prayer meetings or prayer sessions, and you decide the time. Find what fits best in your schedule. The key to being consistent and stuff is ensuring that you make it easy, make it really accessible, but also really simplify it. So if you're forcing yourself to always do it at a certain time but it doesn't work with your schedule, it's gonna deter you from being consistent with it. So for me, morning works. So I do my devotion, wake up and I do my devotion. I use the Bible version YouVersion app and use it. But if I had a book, I also put it up. But one thing I do is to put it straight where beside my alarm, so as I wake up or get up to turn off my alarm, I have it right there beside me. And to study if I was following a Bible plan, I follow the Bible plans or just follow the verse of the day. So find what time works for you. It could be afternoon. Sometimes I use the afternoons. I go find the spiritual care and learning center. I sit in there and take time to pray. And then it could also just be night devotions, whatever works for you. Ask someone to always ask you, or study with someone or pray with someone. You don't even have to pray together, just be on the phone call to be consistent. But yeah, it's really strengthening. I'll tell you, even today, this morning, I woke up, opened up an email, I'd applied for something and I didn't get accepted, and I was I really wanted it, to the point I was even crying and everything. I didn't even know that it was that deep, but yeah, apparently it was that deep. But right after, or no, this was right after my devotion, and even just playing worship music got me out of the rut, and I got strengthened by the lyrics of the songs. So playing music as you get ready, just whatever, surrounding yourself with things that remind you of God, whether it be messages or songs, are really helpful in always being in tune with God. So yeah, I'm heading out now. I actually like to sometimes listen to music or podcasts as I walk, but yeah, I'm heading to school now. And then yeah, come along, let's go. My first year university life was one of the hardest and challenging to my faith. My first year experience on campus was a really challenging time to my faith. Not only were the courses causing me to question the existence of God or the validity and the strength of my faith, but also the varied lifestyle on campus really challenged me. But we're now in third year. I'm more certain of who I am, more settled, who I am in Christ, who I am with God, and here are some things that help me to really stay grounded in my faith. If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you can relate to some parts of this, but firstly, it was to ensure that I knew why I believed beyond just being born and raised around a Christian home. So first, honing in on why you believe in God, finding out for yourself. It might mean some deep search in the word, it might mean some questioning, but being open. And also fortifying yourself, having mentorship from even back home and now still really helped me. But also, I think one fundamental thing that also helped me was diversifying, or being intentional with creating and being in a faith community. So there was a little youth group in my hometown church, but obviously they can't move with me, so I had to start looking around, looking for, being guarded but still looking around for good faith-based church, good faith-based groups. One that was really helpful, fundamental for me, was Lift Church, and now I'm part of a new one, Power to Change. These two, I'm sharing them because they're pretty big and they're really well, like Part of Change has a lot of branches or communities in and around the different Canadian universities, so it's definitely helpful. There was also InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, so all of these things kind of help me to stay grounded, because it's just nice to see that there are people around you who have the same faith, belief and stuff, but it also made it less lonely. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. And an additional tip to this is to have like okay, I stopped for a second because I just met some friends talking to them. But yes, another good thing to be accountable with this is to meet up or do a virtual call with someone you know. Make it consistent. Like some of my friends have like virtual Bible studies every Monday. If you're interested, tell me, I'll send you the link. But also it's just like having a consistent time with other people to either talk about God or pray. I have a couple of Zoom meetings. I still join like Zoom meetings with my youth group from like my home church, so it's always good. And then like still connecting, having mentors, also faith mentors were very key. If I had questions, I would go to these people and ask them. The key was just finding someone that wouldn't judge you and will still like respect and understand your point of view. So having people like those really helped me and stirred me in the right way. Sometimes they wouldn't even give me advice, to just listen, because sometimes getting it out is all that's needed. Another thing is to have I saw this somewhere, so I'm implementing it this year, is to have like a semester prayer journal. So everything that's worrying you about the semester, put it onto God, because trust me, uni really tries you, the workload, everything. But I think now that I'm 30, I see it just as like a way to develop and form yourself. So whenever I come with a challenge, I'm just like, how can I navigate it? But if I'm feeling the emotions and I just feel like I can't handle it, I just put it on to God's hands through prayer or just writing it out in this journal. But I think it's going to be beautiful when I leave and see the prayers answered, or just my mind stayed at this point too. But yeah. Okay, so another thing that really helped me was that I was intentional about curating my faith experience. Well, the name is nyanganiyambakam curates for no reason other than I feel like a lot of times, sometimes we kind of just live our lives to what is around us and let it control us and not really take charge or be intentional with what we do. I also think that's another way like the devil uses to make us doubt our faith, especially when we're on campus, because the main argument is that, oh, you're only following God, you're only doing this because that's what you were that was what you were growing up on, that was what was fed to you, and then you're always wondering, oh my gosh, do I really believe, or am I just absorbing what was around my surroundings? And for some, honestly, that might be the case, but like a full circle moment is that you come to find God for yourself, and I hope like you're open to it. But one thing that really helped me was that I curated my like faith experience beyond what was given to me. So what's given to me, it's like, okay, I've been taught to do my devotions, I've been taught to go to church, go to services, kind of like volunteer in a certain way. How I expanded that or curated mine is to attend the services in different churches, to visit different services, to visit a fellowship other than the one stipulated since I was born, listen to other sermons from other ministers, read books by other faith people. Essentially, I was creating like a catalog of faith experience beyond what like worked for my parents. So now I'm finding what worked for me. I'm consuming faith contents that are creative and stuff. I'm using a lot of journals and stuff to connect with God. Like, you know, my mom would never be like, Oh, you know, one thing that really helped my Christian faith, journaling. But for me, that's something that I will tell other people. But and one major thing is also like having fun, with God. So I'm big on worship concerts, worship experiences that really connect you. I've been to like Upper Room, Doing Morning, all these concerts, and some of them I went to them when I was like a really low point, and when I went there, I either received a word or strength to improve. And so I hammer on them, clamor on them. Another thing that helped me in creating my faith experience is to create communities. So if it was like a birthday, I'd invite people, even though it's about me, but I wanted us to like connect and have fellowship. And once we planned like a Friendsgiving with my Christian friends from all over the city in Toronto, Canada, and they came down and we had fun. If it's summer, I'm going out with my friends. We're having fun, general fun, but also fun that allows us to, you know, focus and center around God and faith. So I was able to, you know, received word and guidance to create a faith podcast, extended myself just beyond that, and not even anything that has to do with like faith per se. I'm now volunteering for like an organization that is focused on welcoming international students and newcomers. All these things are extension of like what I can do for God and just finding myself and footing and direction. So because using your talents, your gifts, they're not restricted to just church people, they're not restricted to just the church. You're supposed to extend it also to the community. So sometimes volunteering, it not only helps you find yourself, but it also grounds you if you're doing it from a place of, oh, I want to extend God's love, I want to extend God's glory. And if you're always prayerful about it, you'll be directed to the right places. For the last one before, this was like maybe like 2 days before I had to like move on campus. One thing I wanted was just like strengthening, vision, guidance for like the school semester. God gave me verses that I'm not alone, to strengthen me and remind me that I'm not alone. Gave me the word of settlement, and it was great. The first one I went to, which was one in April, that time I was completely depleted, completely tired. I needed strength, and I went to, firstly it was the Don Moen concert, and then the other upper room experience, and I was really strengthened and faith. So all these things are part of me just like diversifying my faith experience and getting strengthening, and I encourage you to do the same. And I don't want you to be limited to just like churchy things. It doesn't everything you're a part of doesn't have to have faith or Christian in it. Just as long as it's you're using your talents to glorify God. Definitely be guarded about what you join, because still on campus, as there are faith things, there are tools, clubs and societies set up by the devil to bring more people to his kingdom. So still be guarded for sure, and that's why you want you to strengthen your faith with these tools. Definitely build on seeking community and being intentional with how you grow. Another thing that also helped me was just calling and checking in on friends that are far away, Christian friends or just my general friends, my parents / spiritual mentors, calling them, checking in, asking for prayer requests. Oh my gosh, prayer requests have saved me in the hardest of times. Shout out to Faith 5, a group where I can always go to and say, guys, help me with this, do this with me. But another thing is also like verses of the day, consuming Christian content throughout the day, music, is it podcast, is it finding fun ways to really engage. Sometimes just sitting down and reading for a long time can seem monotonous, so diversifying how you consume faith content is also very critical. And you may think, why is this important? Why is it important to stay close to God? Why is it important to find ways on reaffirming your faith? One thing is, just as how, like, let's say you have clubs and societies, you have like a Christian club or stuff, you also have clubs that are manufactured and set up by the enemy, and sometimes we trivialize the works of the enemy, but the devil is real, and he uses sometimes all these means to capture you. So if you're not for the light, you're definitely for the darkness. There's no in between. And if you're not intentional about like staying grounded with God, you will get swayed easily. Sometimes it might not be so bad, but sometimes it can be really terrible, and nothing is worse than your purpose getting redirected into the wrong thing, or like the enemy changing God's purpose for your life. And so I hope these tips help you. That's it. I hope you were blessed or took something away. Until next time, never stop curating your best faith life. Bye. Please share this video. Thank you, and like and comment your favorite part. All right, see you in the next one.